Welcome to the first tutorial in our series Convoworks Basics. In this series we will cover basic Convoworks usage and we will explain some general conversational concepts. Through that process we will also create a simple number guessing game. In this episode we will quickly walk through all the views you can find and use in Convoworks. Getting started is the first page you will see after Convoworks activation. The purpose of this page is primarily to remind you to connect your installation with your Amazon developer account. You can also find links to articles in our documentation which might help if you get stuck. The settings page is the place where you will connect the installation with your Amazon developer account. This will enable Convoworks to manage skills in the Alexa developer console. This is something you will have to set up only once. Now, we are entering the real Convoworks views. The services view is a place where you can find all your existing voice applications or services as we like to call them. As you can see, they can be published to multiple platforms. When you want to create a new service, you will use this view. Here you have to enter the application name, choose the main language, but you can also choose a template to start from. It's good to keep in mind that new templates can be added through third-party plugins. Once you've created your application, you can enter into it by clicking on its name. The first page you can find inside the service is the Conversation Workflow Editor. This view is the heart of Convoworks and you will spend much of your time using it. Besides links to other application-related views on the far left side, there are several sections inside the Workflow Editor. On the left-hand side is a toolbar with components you can use. In this service we have just a single package enabled. Notice that we have several types of components which you can distinguish by their color. Here you can enable or disable additional component packages. On the right-hand side we have a list of steps in your conversation. You can think of it as the sitemap in a classic web application. In the middle section you can see the details of a single step. Each step has two sections separated by a horizontal line. The first part serves to inform users on what this step is about and what the expected requests are. In the second part we will try to process user requests. When you select a component you can find and edit its properties on the right sidebar. Most of the components are shipped with a help file which can also be found here. The preview page shows a quick overview of all utterances and bot responses that are defined in your service. You can perform a quick search and you can click on some of its elements. Variables allow you to define some constants and default values you can use in your workflow. When you are defining a conversation workflow, you are able to override these values. Most of the modern natural language processing platforms use an intent model. Although it might sound confusing at first, it is actually very simple. Basically, you are just grouping similar example user utterances into intents. Besides intents, here we also have entities which help us to mark specific values from utterances. Like in this example where we are expecting a game type that the user has chosen. The upper part of the configuration view is dedicated to Convoworks specific settings. In the lower part of the page, you can enable and manage platforms you want to connect to. Here is our Amazon configuration, which allows you to configure almost all available settings from here without the need for the Alexa console. When you publish your skill to the Alexa store, you will probably want to work on a new skill version. In this view you can manage your releases and versions, allowing you to do new development without affecting the live one. If you want to share or migrate your service to another installation, you can use our import-export page. Finally, we come to the last view where you can test your conversation. Right now we support only textual mode, but it can be very helpful during development since you can inspect all variables that are used and set in your application. That would be all for this time. In the next episode we will learn how to connect your installation to an Amazon account and create your first Alexa skill. Until then, goodbye.